So when we think about core training, we sometimes have a tendency to think just about our abdomen, our muscles on the front here. But really with our core, there's about 30 muscles and that surrounds our whole trunk region. So not just the abs, but also the obliques, low back. We're working on all of these muscles. And so four different components to core strength training that I like to focus on is anti-rotation. So with skiing, we want to prevent any twisting. So the exercises will prevent this anti-rotation, anti-lateral flexion, so preventing the shoulders and hips from twisting laterally, anti-forward flexion, and anti-extension. So with these core exercises, really focus on keeping those total trunk muscles engaged rather than just the abs. All of your trunk muscles should be engaged and trying to prevent anti-flexion, rotation, and extension. First exercise is plank with heel taps. So you're going to lift one foot and tap the other heel, aiming to prevent your hips from twisting. So keep the hips nice and rigid, don't allow one side to sink. In 5 seconds, switching to forearm to hand push-ups. So you're going to push off the forearm right onto your hands. If you need to, you can modify by going from your knees. But you're going to push explosively through your hands to get into that nice tall plank position, all in one smooth action. Try to keep your body rigid and not have your hips sag. So push up in one strong motion. Great work so far. In 5 seconds, we're going to glute bridge. Now we're going to work the lower back. So with glute bridge, make sure you engage the glutes and keep the hips high throughout. Don't allow the hips to sag. Keep them tall throughout. Five more seconds and then a side plank with leg lift. So if you need to do this from your knee at first, that's okay. Otherwise, you're trying to keep your body as you're trying to prevent any lateral flexion and just keep that solid core. Lift and lower the leg in a smooth motion. If you need to do this from the knee to start, that's okay, and progress it as you get stronger. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1. Other side plank, same thing. Leg lifts as well. In 5 seconds, we're going to reverse plank. And 2, 1. So reverse plank now. You're going to keep your hips nice and tall, pushing through your hands, prevent your hips from sagging down. So it keeps the hips tall, engage the whole trunk here. Nice work. Over halfway, keep it up. In 5 seconds, we're switching to a front plank again, really emphasizing challenging that front plank today. You're going to lift one arm at a time, making sure to be nice and smooth with the movement. Hold the arm out in front for a second, and then lower it back. Every time you lift your arm, try to prevent twisting. We're working lots of planks today. Keep the core nice and rigid. Another plank exercise here. We're going from low plank to high plank in 2, 1. So you're going to go from elbows to hands, elbows to hands, and really try again to still minimize any hip rotation. Keep the core nice and tight. If you need to do this from knees for now, and progress to doing this from your feet as you get stronger. But again, prevent any rotation. Keep the trunk rigid. Don't allow the hips to twist. Keep it up. You're doing great. Okay, back to posterior chain side in 3, 2, 1. We're doing glute bridge again, except from a single leg. So single leg glute bridge, even more important than double leg to prevent hip twist. So you're going to have one leg parallel with the other. Avoid one hip from sagging. Keep the hips level. Switching to other leg, so 30 seconds on each side. Other leg. Keep the hips tall. Don't let that low leg side sag. We're moving back to that side plank in 3, 2, 1. Side plank with reach through. So you're going to reach the one hand low, touch your elbow to the ground, and reach your hand tall to the sky. 30 seconds on each side with this plank with reach through. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Same thing, touch your elbow to the ground, reach the hand to the sky. Exercise in 5 seconds. You're almost here in 3, 2, 1. Tabletop hold. So you're gonna keep a nice flat back and move around a little bit with this. You have your hips at 90 degrees, hands and elbows directly right underneath your shoulders. So thinking about that square tabletop, flat back, and just move side to side, forward and back with this, keeping that flat back, knees and hips bent at 90 degrees, hands and elbows right below your shoulders. Last 30 seconds here, keep it up. Nicely done, just 10 more seconds, hold it nice and strong. 10 seconds, less than 10, 5, 3, 2, 1.